Hey everyone, I'm Heinz and welcome to my channel. And in today's video, we'll be taking a closer look at my latest settings for Dark Venus EA. What this means is we'll be adjusting an old set file 9024 to make it trade better in the current trading environment. But before moving forward, if you find any part of this video helpful, I'm going to ask you to drop it a like. Also, subscribe to stay updated with the latest content. Now, firstly, Dark Venus is a free Forex robot or Forex expert advisor available on the MQL5 marketplace. And it's available for both MetaTrader 4 and MetaTrader 5 and has become one of the most downloaded and popular expert advisors available. Now, Dark Venus is a fully automated EA with a high level of customizability that uses the Bollinger Bands for entry. Now, once it has entered the market, it will then use either a cost averaging or Martingale style system to exit trades that go against it. Now, unfortunately, using this Martingale style has been known to incur Martingale risk, which can cause the account to blow. To combat the Martingale risk, I introduced a new system where I close all of the trades on Fridays. Unfortunately, with all of the announcements being made in the world and a lot of turbulence in the market, in recent times the set file has started performing under balance. So what we'll be doing today is we'll be adjusting the set file 9024 for 2025. Now we'll be using the USD CAD and the 15-minute time frame, and if we run the old set file against recent trading data from the 10th of January 2024 until the start of April 2025, we see the set file has had a couple of losses. This happens because we want to cancel out that martingale risk by closing all of the trades, negative or positive, on Friday. Now, I still believe this idea can be used, however, we'll need to adjust the way that it reacts to current market conditions. Now, currently, the old set file 9024 was running on a MyFX book account. So if we head over to MyFX book, we'll see that that one is currently running at a negative loss. And because of the fact it has to close all of the trades on Friday, it's constantly encountering all of these losses. So what we'll be doing is we'll be taking what I've learned from trading this expert advisor and using the old set file and adjust it to a new and improved version. Now, I'll also be creating a new MyFX book link for the account so you can follow along with me. So firstly, we are going to update the magic number from 9024 to 9025 to show that this is the latest version for Dark Venus. Now, when it comes to the money management options, I'm going to keep it at true. However, I will keep a low risk percentage of 1. This will show us how this trades on the $1,000 balance, typically starting at a 0.01. Then next, when it comes to the entry of the indicator or the indicator used for entry, it's again the Bollinger Bands, but I've made a couple of adjustments which I recommend for you as well. Firstly, I'll be using strategy number 3, which is the uptrend buy and downtrend sell. On top of this, I've increased the Bollinger Band period to 50 and the deviation to 3. Then on top of this, when we look at our trading hours, it will only be entering the original trade from 2 a.m. GMT plus 3 until noon GMT plus 3. The idea is that it trades in the Asia session as well as a little bit of London. Now, when it comes to trading days, what I have noticed in the Asia session on Monday is that there are often fake signals. So to counter these false signals, I have changed so that it doesn't trade on Mondays or Fridays and Saturdays and Sundays. Now, by limiting this, I still want a competitive amount of trades to be entered in the market. So I'm going to allow buy and sell at the same time. What this means is that the EA will have both buys and sells at the same time. So if the market moves against a buy, it will open a sell trade. Now, to counter the martingale risk, an important thing to do is to limit the maximum quantity of buy and sell trades. For this example, I changed it from 50 to 5, meaning the maximum amount of orders that the expert advisor is allowed to trade in one direction is set to 5. Now, to give more freedom to the grid to be able to exit these trades, I did make a couple of changes to the grid itself. I changed the grid order complies to false with the exclusion of the maximum spread. So it's important that you adjust your spread according to your broker. Then we've left the rest of the grid settings the same as the previous version. Now our next major change is going to be the way that it reacts to its take profit settings. Now I've noticed the trailing stop creates that we enter a lot more trades, but I would rather want us to focus on a set take profit for each trade. So the way that this will work, it will either have a take target of 50 when it enters the grid, or the take target for the first order will be set at 100 points or 10 pips. By doing this, we've now eliminated the trailing stop, and it should be much easier to track the account and will also decrease the amount of trades entered. Then lastly, what I like to do is I'd like to update the time that it exits the market. Remember, the close all on Friday settings means that every Friday all of the trades are closed, whether they are in a profit or loss. I've moved this a little bit earlier so that we can potentially get a better price for those exits. Now, all of these changes, the last one is to update the description so that we now know that these are the new trades for the updated set file. Now, with all of these changes implemented, the first thing that we are going to do is test it over the same period as before. So we'll be testing it from the 10th of January 2024 until the start of April 2025. On top of this, we're also going to be testing it for a longer period after the short backtest. What we'll immediately notice is that it takes both buys and sells, so it's increased the quantity of orders compared to the previous set file. Now, there will be losses on the set file because remember, it closes all of the trades on Friday to avoid weekend turbulence and potential martingale risk. On top of this, limiting the maximum buy and sell orders to 5 individually means that our grid will never get too large. So what we'll be doing next is we'll be taking a look at the results over this period, and we'll see that it was able to avoid most of the martingale risk in these high news events and still generate a healthy profit. So the total net profit over the period was $80 with an maximum equity drawdown of $63.20, giving us a profit factor above 1.2. It also had a high win rate at 73%. So now that we've tested the set file against the shorter period, what we're going to be doing next is testing it over a much longer one. This will give us a better idea if it was able to survive older events in the market. So again, using the USD CAD on the 15-minute time frame, we'll be testing from the 10th of January 2022 until the 5th of April 2024, using an initial deposit again of 1,000. The same settings as we used in our previous test again delivered a positive result. So if we take a look at the backtesting results, you'll see that even though there were these losses throughout the trading period, it was able to recover. And it ended in a total net profit of $133.80 compared to a maximum equity drawdown of $79.68. We still have a positive profit factor of above 1.2 and a large quantities of deals with the same win rate. So overall, this set file looks to be the one that will be running live on the account. So let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. And with that, I want to say thank you for watching. Until next time, happy trading. Bye.